So you're thinking of moving to Rock Hill, South Carolina, and you're just starting to ask yourself, what is it gonna cost? How much are homes? How much are food and groceries, the tax liabilities, everything that hits your wallet when you move? Stay tuned, and I'm gonna tell you all about why people love living in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So before we totally get started, let's talk a little bit about where Rock Hill is on the map. We're just south of Charlotte. And so if you've thought about making the commute from Rock Hill into downtown Charlotte, that commute can take you anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes. What do y'all say? I'll see you at the next spot. Welcome to our cost of living journey right here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Today, we're gonna cover cost of living and houses and a load of other things that are gonna affect your wallet. Housing for many Americans is gonna be your biggest expense sometimes and can be a reason that people move, whether it's just across the city or sometimes across the country. And so I wanted to give you a little perspective on how home prices have changed here in Rock Hill. January of 2020, we'll call this our pre-pandemic pricing. Median home prices here for Rock Hill were $217,000. And don't worry, that's a price you'll never see again. And as everyone knows, housing has gone up dramatically across the country since then, and Rock Hill has been no different. Today, January of 2024, our median home price is $330,000, and that's up $30,000 from this time last year. So homes have gone up, but in comparison, the median home price in Charlotte is above $400,000, and the median for the country is right at $400,000. So even though we have seen incredible growth here in Rock Hill, it's still an awesome place to find incredible real estate at affordable prices. And one thing I really like about Rock Hill is you can get a little bit of everything. Do you want that downtown urban feel? Do you want a suburban enclave of original homes and large trees? Or do you want more of a suburban feel? And let's not forget lake life and country life when you just don't want any neighbors at all. And if moving has been on your mind, I'd love to hear from you. My name's Joe McIntosh. I'm a realtor here for North and South Carolina. And every day I help amazing people just like you move all around this beautiful city. So give me a shout. I'd love to hear from you. Well, what do y'all say? Let's continue our tour and see what else is gonna hit your wallet right here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Let's talk fun and entertainment. What's the tax to leave your house these days and do something besides sit there and play video games? Something really cool with Rock Hill is there are an incredible amount of outdoor parks and things to do outside that aren't gonna cost a whole lot of money. I'm actually out at the BMX track as they get set up for some events coming up this weekend. So if you're into two wheels or you'd like to get into two wheels, this would be a killer place to do it. If you're looking to go out to eat, there are some incredible restaurants here. The Pump House is probably one of the nicest in all of Rock Hill, and your plate there is going to be between about 30 to 50 bucks depending on what you decided to order. If you get steak and lobster, you're going to pay steak and lobster prices there. There is a mall here. A lot of people forget. Yes, there's the Rock Hill Mall, the Galleria, and it's got everything you would need within a mall. We're gonna have Lowe's, we're gonna have Home Depot, and everything else like that. So it's not like, oh man, you've got to commute to Charlotte to go get all of this stuff. We do have the Rock Hill Event Center, super cool spot. I've gone down there for some amateur MMA fights. They host bare knuckle fist fight league also. That can be exciting. They'll have AAU tournaments there. You can go to Winthrop for D1 basketball. And then if you need big life and big sports, you can jump right into Charlotte. You've got pro sports there. So you've got pro basketball, pro football, minor league baseball with the Charlotte Knights. They're an affiliate of the Chicago Cubs. It's actually a really awesome venue. You can sit down, see the skyline, And on good nights, you get an incredible sunset there also. So when it comes to things to do, you can spend a little bit of money in Rock Hill and go have an incredible time. Or if you want to spend pro sports money, sit in the executive suite or entertain clients out there, you can do that also, because Charlotte is just up the road. So Rock Hill really does have it all. It's an incredible spot. If you ever have any questions, please give me a call. But y'all stay with me, and I'll see you at the next spot. Welcome to our next stop, man. One of the things that people really love about living in Rock Hill is just how close we are to a beautiful park. That's the Catawba River right there behind me. And so you're never far from being just able to get outside and enjoy the sun. But something I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is tax. Because don't worry, Uncle Sam is gonna get theirs, and every state has their set of taxes. So first, let's cover property taxes. South Carolina as a whole has some of the most favorable property taxes in the country. For York County and Rock Hill is in York County, the county average is 0.65%, and Rock Hill will be no different. Hey, your taxes, they could be a little higher, they could be a little lower depending on where you are in the city, but either way, we're gonna be under 1%, which saves you tons of money every month. Also, when you log online, you might see something that says property taxes, and it might have like a 4% next to it. Property taxes here are done on a millage rate, and it's a calculation that they do. I won't bore you with it, but you can Google it and see if you can figure out the calculus they use to come up with that. At the end of the day, you end up being right at 0.65%. Now, let's talk about income tax. You're gonna go to work here. How much is the state gonna take from you? Learn something new. The state taxes here are adjusted yearly for inflation. This is now 2024. Sounds really strange to say that these days. And this year is going to be right at 6.4%, is going to be the highest tier. The state income taxes are tiered, much like our federal government is, but the top tier here is 6.4%, and that's everything at $16,400 and above. So odds are good everybody watching this will be taxed at the highest tier. So there's your income taxes and your property taxes. Now, hey, everybody, for some reason, they get stressed out about the vehicle taxes here. Yes, South Carolina has personal property taxes. And so when you move into South Carolina and you're gonna go to register your vehicle, you're gonna have a one-time IMF fee of $250 per vehicle. So for this area, you're gonna go down to your tax office, pay your tax bill, take that paperwork down to the DMV, you get your stickers, your new license plate, and your registration. Y'all, don't let that stress you out. Don't be in the community groups losing your mind. southcarolina.gov.dmv, I got that backwards, scdmv.gov will answer all of your questions. Yes, it's gonna cost a little bit to register your vehicles, but your property taxes are cheap. Now, as we're talking about taxes, let's get into your Social Security. One day you're gonna retire, or maybe you've already retired and are thinking of moving down. South Carolina doesn't tax your Social Security. Something else they don't tax, which makes me really happy, is they don't tax my military retirement. So that's always amazing. So there's a little bit on taxes and how Uncle Sam's always gonna get his. Y'all stay with me. I'll see you at the next spot. Hey, how are you? Thanks for sticking around. On this portion of our cost of living tour here for Rock Hill, we're gonna cover the grocery store. You know, sometimes it's something you might not always think about when, hey, we're moving. Hey, what does it cost to fill up our pantry there versus here in Rock Hill is usually pretty affordable. So here's some just kind of basic prices for you, and you can go do some compare shopping. Maybe tell me in the comments, what was the difference? We're at Food Lion here. And so Food Lion brand boneless, skinless breasts was $3.77 a pound. And so a pack of 3 to 4 breasts was about $8 to $9 a pack, depending on the exact weight. There, ground beef, 93% lean, was $6.79 a pound. Ribeye, if you want to have steak that night, it's my favorite steak. Boneless was $14.99 a pound, and bone-in ribeye was $16.99 a pound. 12 pack of Coke is $9.99. It's often on sale. Right now they're on sale for $5 a 12 pack. Milk's gonna cost you $3 to $7 a gallon, depending on if you want really fancy milk or just some basic 2%. And then for your fresh veggies, everybody eat your greens. We have to stay healthy, right? Green beans were $1.79 a pound, and a pound of asparagus was $3.99 a pound. So go to your grocery store, maybe check those things and just see how it compares. Another thing, hey, Rock Hill, we do have an Earth Fair. If you're not familiar with Earth Fair is just like Sprouts or Whole Foods, and sometimes their levels of how organic and healthy something has to be is even higher than those other two places. So it's just a little bit on groceries. Y'all, thanks for staying with me, and I'll see you at the next spot. All right. Let's talk gas, transportation, cars. What is it gonna cost you here to get around town and go to work? See these gas prices? It's under $3 a gallon. It's $2.85. This is February of 2024. Don't worry, gas fluctuates here just like it does across the country. But usually gas is more reasonable here than it may be in other parts of the country. You are gonna be pretty car reliant here. It's really gonna be your key to getting around the city and even the state and this part of the country. There's really not a great mass transit system here. There is a set of city buses, and as of now, to ride them, it is free. So that's pretty cool. If you're gonna make that commute to Charlotte every day, something you're gonna wanna make sure you budget for is your oil changes. And you're gonna wanna make sure you budget for tires, because you're gonna go through them. Car maintenance, make sure you have a little bit of money put away, because your car always breaks at the most inopportune times. So make sure you've budgeted for car maintenance. Oil changes will be probably 50 to 110 bucks, depending on how much oil you needed to get that done. So there's some transportation. Also, Rock Hill is not super spread out. It is kind of centralized. So if you've got family or kids who do not like to ride or drive on the interstate, they'll be happy in Rock Hill. They should be able to get just about everywhere they need to go and never have to see I-77. Now, if they need to get into Charlotte, you're gonna have to ride and drive on the interstate. All right, guys, this kind of covers your transportation and gas. I hope you like these prices as much as I do. Stay with me, and I'll see you at the next spot. All right, hey, on this portion, we're gonna talk about childcare. I know that's something that definitely have to think about if you're moving down with kids who are gonna require some extra eyeballs when you go to work. And childcare here can be kind of expensive. It's going to depend on what spot you landed, because you could pay anywhere from $144 a month, probably up to about, you could pay anywhere from about $145 a week up to around $300 a week. It's just going to depend on what facility you decide to send your children to, what services they provide, and how long you need them to be there. But no matter where you decide to live, whether you pick somewhere here in Rock Hill, the Charlotte area, or another part and state of the country, when you figure out where you're going, immediately get online, start doing the research, get into the parents groups, figure out who's good, and call. Availability is a real thing. Lots of places are full and continually full, and sometimes you'll talk to parents and they'll say, hey, how did you end up at so-and-so place? And they might say, that's who had space at the time I needed it. I was starting work, they had a spot, and my children were safe and taken care of there. So childcare is a real thing. Make sure you get on the list early, and make sure you've got all your ducks in a row for it. I'll see y'all at the next spot. Let's talk jobs and employers. I'm out at Fountain Park here, just off of downtown. Another great place to come down to when you're in the area. Rock Hill was once home to a thriving textile industry, and as everyone knows, that industry is kind of dead. but Rock Hill has transformed itself to include many global companies such as Atlas Copco, 3D Systems, and Coroplast Manufacturing. Your major job sectors are going to be distribution, your industrial jobs, your manufacturing jobs, and healthcare, because there is a large hospital here and there's many hospitals in Charlotte. And then you also have the whole Charlotte job market that you can access also. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You can make Charlotte money, come live in Rock Hill, and hopefully keep a few more dollars in your pocket, because Charlotte is the #2 banking center in the country, with loads of healthcare and loads of professional services there also. So no matter your job skill or what sector you want to work in, even tech, because Charlotte was just named one of the top tech cities in the country, is you can find a great job, find a great home, and have an amazing quality of life. Well, what do y'all say? I'll see you at the next spot. Hey, on this stop, we're gonna cover utilities. You know, how much does it take to cut on the lights, and what's it gonna cost when the kids left the door open and you're trying to cool outside in the summertime? Power here is gonna be pretty affordable, which is really nice. Power here in Rock Hill is gonna cost you about 13 cents a kilowatt hour, which is actually a penny less than the state average and less than the national average, which is 19 cents a kilowatt hour. And you're thinking, Joe, I don't know what a kilowatt hour is. What does that mean in power? Hey, really what that boils down to is the average power bill here for Rock Hill is $102.73. Your power provider here is gonna be none other than Duke Power. You've probably heard that name some if you've watched some of my other videos. Your peak power time is gonna be June to August as you try to beat the heat. It just is what it is. You're gonna run your AC and find a pool and a splash pad, because those months can get extremely warm. Your biggest heating bills are gonna usually be January to December. It's gonna be really cold. Every now and again, we get some cold snaps. It's gonna be in the teens and you're gonna be bundled up and cranking the heat. Outside of those months in there, it is very reasonable. Hey, let's talk phones, cable, internet, because everybody has to get the Wi-Fi today, right? Hey, cable internet here is gonna probably be between $75 and $250. And you kind of ask me, why the big spread? Because if you're gonna run business enterprise internet in your home and add the cable options on top of it and have Disney Plus and Amazon Prime and you kind of see how your bundle there really starts to add up. So there's a little bit of your cost. Electricity sometimes becomes a big one. Water here is not too terrible as long as you're not like me and have 3 women who wash their hair and it's this long. My water bill is outrageous. The cost of living here really is affordable. So what do y'all say? I'll see you at the next spot. Hey guys, what have you thought about the cost of living in Rock Hill, South Carolina? Does it seem like somewhere you think fits your budget? Thank y'all for watching another episode of the Carolina Salute. Again, if I can ever do anything for you, please give me a shout. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're feeling generous, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button for me. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next one.